Hey, what's going on, comic book fan? Got another new video for you guys, and I want to do something different with this one. Last year when we talked about doing some new video content, I figured it was high time to start doing more of a showing off sort of concept, right? A video series, really, of diving into the collection a little bit more. I want to show you guys more of the books that I have. So I want to take you back to 2010 when I used to run a comic book store in Augusta, Georgia. The Augusta Book Exchange, one of the branches there on Fort Gordon. And it was owned originally by another gentleman under the name of Comic World. And when he closed up, he gave us the opportunity to have some books that were in the store for working under him. So it was really cool to get some of these older comic books added to my collection, and it was the start of my collection. And what I'm going to show you guys here is what I used to store my books in before, you know, getting comic book boxes and bins or whatever. I used to put the rare books, anything that was of significant value, in these little file cabinet letter carriers, essentially. So the books are laying flat, collecting and you know, amassing some sort of a collection at home. I realized that a lot of my books were modern. I didn't have very many Silver Age books. I definitely don't have any Gold Age books. But at the time, the very few Silver Age and the very few Bronze Age and modern books that I had, you know, I deemed valuable enough to set aside personally. So some of them now, with the where my collection is, aren't as valuable as some other books that I have, and some books that I've slabbed. I only have 15 slab books at the moment, but hopefully 2021 we can add some more to the collection. So, you know, that's why some of these books, they might not seem like they're big keys or anything like that, but we're going to go through here. I haven't looked at this in a while. I did move these books into Mylar, so they're a little better protected than the original bag and boards that they were in. But I'm really excited to show you guys what's in here. The keys, we got some signatured books in here as well. I do have 3 of these, and then I have some other short boxes that we can do for further videos down the road. So this is going to be part 1 of part 2. I'll do half of these in one video, and then I'll add the other half in a secondary video for our first file bin dive through my collection. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so here's the bin. As you can see there, Sterilite. So we're going to go through the comics here in this bin. This is half of it in this first part here. So let's go ahead and see what we got. So first up, we have a Harley Quinn #1 DC Universe Rebirth. This is a, I can't remember who did this, but it's a Comic-Con exclusive for Amazing Comic-Con that came to Hawaii. So it was just a variant cover of Harley that we picked up there at the convention, and I thought it was really sweet. Added it to the collection. So that one's not as old as some of the other ones that are sitting in here. Probably down towards the bottom are the ones that are a little bit older. Next up, we have Lady Mechanica issue #2. This is the Outlaw exclusive, limited to 1,500 copies. I think that's the first series as well. Next up, new X-Men issue 129. It's the first cover appearance of our boy Phantom X, one of my newer favorite characters. Then we have, oh, some Saga. Sorry, they're all topsy-turvy, so some are upside down. Saga issue #8. Issue 5. We have issue 4. Then issue 3. And issue 2. So the first 5 issues, the first 2 issues of Saga that I have are slabbed. So that's a nice addition to the collection. 9.2 and a 9.4. I could easily, you know, take them out, the encapsulation, and probably clean and press them, because I sent them in without any kind of clean, without any kind of press, as like a test to CGC with my older books, to see if my personal way of you know, keeping the books safe and sound was good enough, deemed worthy enough. So I think that with the press it could have been even better, to be honest. All right, next up we have Hawkeye issue #1. This series is one of my favorites from Matt Fraction, David Aja, and of course it's heating up because of the Hawkeye and Kate Bishop show that's coming out. on Disney Plus. And we have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2. I believe issue number 1 is probably sitting in another one of the bins, so you guys will see that in a subsequent video, if it's not in this one, of course. Next up, we have issue 4 of Ninja Turtles, their IDW run from 2011. This is the B cover, drawn by Kevin Eastman. And then we also have issue number 3 there, in Mylar, the cover A. All new X-Men number 1. This one's great because there's a signature by Brian Michael Bendis there. I gave him a ton of books. Mr. Bendis was super happy to sign anything and everything when he came to Hawaii, especially for armed service members. So he signed a ton of them. He was like, hey, come back tomorrow with as many books as you want. I'll sign them all. So I did. The first day, I only gave him about 10 books. The next day, I came back with like another 20, I think, for him to sign. So his signature is all over the place, which I think is super funny. Next, and you can see the different pens. So you can probably see the days that I went back. One of them was one day, and the next day was with the black pen. So Jessica Jones, number 1, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Then we have a Scarlet number 1. I believe this is a second print when it was under the Icon label for Marvel, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Next up, we have an Infinity Free Comic Book Day edition. Can't remember what first appearance was in here, but it was a big deal book when they were putting certain tie-ins or previews for events that were happening that year. So there's Infinity Free Comic Book Day. We have a variant of Secret Invasion from Dynamic Forces for issue 3, another Disney Plus show coming in the works. So all the Secret Invasion books are probably going to go up in price. So be on the lookout for that, guys. Now we have issue 81 of Daredevil. I believe this is I might say it on the back. Yeah, this is the first time Black Widow comes in as a guest appearance for Daredevil for about 10 issues or so. Next up, we have a very, very nice copy here because I love the color of this one for Daredevil 37. I would grade this about 4.55, right in the middle. Cover is great. I think the back might have a couple more dinks. As you can see, there are definitely like the spine ticks right there. But a great cover. Dr. Doom's on it. What more do you want from that one? More Lady Mechanica. I just really like Joe Benitez and his art style with this series. So this is the Free Comic Book Day edition, running about 15 to 20 bucks. Oh, here we go. Next up, Invincible Iron Man issue number 7. This is the first cameo appearance of Riri Williams, Ironheart, signed Brian Michael Bendis. Another signed Brian Michael Bendis. This is a variant 1 in 15, I believe, for Avengers issue number 1. This is the book that's getting a lot of spec because of the future Avengers kids and everything, because of Black Panther's son in issue number 6, I believe. So this is the first issue of that series, the Heroic Age variant edition. Next up, another Bendis book that was signed, Siege, issue number 1. I really like the Siege storyline, especially after the Dark Avengers taking over and being the new Avengers, which was an awesome storyline to me, having the villains kind of run things. So issue number 1 there. We have a variant edition for issue number 3, one of my favorite variants of all time, of Cap there. Awesome cover, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. Issue number 2 with Thor for Siege, Brian Michael Bendis variant, signed. Issue number 1, of course, also signed by Bendis. Look at that. Norman Osborn just looking awesome on that cover there. Variant edition number 1, 2010. Next up, another big key issue here. Signed Brian Michael Bendis, Invincible Iron Man number 9, the very first appearance of Riri Williams, full appearance. Another Free Comic Book Day book here. This one's also signed by Bendis, as you can see. Civil War issue 2. Not issue 2, sorry. Civil War 2, the Free Comic Book Day edition. I believe this is the first appearance of Nadia, the all-new Wasp. Civil War 2, issue number 3, signed by Brian Michael Bendis. So all the signature books are kind of sitting in here too. Here's that Secret Invasion as well, so I got 2 copies of this one. The first one wasn't signed by Bendis. This one is. As you can see, once he started signing so many things, the signature just kind of went all over the place. So this is issue 4, Civil War 2, signed by Bendis. The 0 issue, signed by Bendis. Issue 2, signed by Bendis. Probably the black ink was day 2, because all of these are signed by Bendis. So this is the last one of the first half of the box. Issue number 1 of Civil War 2, signed by Brian Michael Bendis, coming into Hawaii for Amazing Comic-Con. I want to say this was 2016 or 2017 when he visited. Shout out to him for getting a signature on all these books. I wish I had been a better collector or just been more aware of CGC being nearby and trying to get a couple of these books verified for a signature with CGC, but you know, I would have liked to clean and press them as well. So our best bet right now is CBCS for some of these, and especially those Riri Williams books, though those are hot issues. I got the signature by Bendis. I think that's going to raise the value significantly, and it's something to check out. If you guys are interested, just let me know. So that was half of the box. We're going to go ahead and do another video showcasing the other half. Hope you guys like this. If you have any questions or want to see more of my collection, what I'm going to do in the description below is add the site where I catalog all my books, and that's comicbookrealm.com. So if you go to the link provided down below, you can click the collection, and it's going to show you all my piles there when you click it. But what you want to do is, to the right, you're going to see a tab called Series, and when you click that, that's where you want to go to see every single book that I own in my collection. 15,000 books and counting. So some of them definitely have to go this year in 2021. We're going to do a better job of trying to market my books and get the collection sold. And I just want to get into the secondary market, buy and sell comic books, just like a lot of other successful content creators are doing. And there's a lot of books that people are looking for that I'm looking to find a better home for some of them. Absolutely. I think some people would love a lot of these books that are in my collection, and I'm happy to sell them to somebody else that's going to showcase them with a lot more love than I do. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for part 2.